right. We are heading to the Byakuya Plains in order to, well, move. Well, I don't know if we're meeting up with Kazuha or what, but moving into Kazuha's story quest. No one's here so far.
It's been a while since we first set foot on Inazuma.
It really has, Paimon. Even longer now.
So many things have happened since then.
Yeah, as if in the blink of an eye. There are many memorable events.
Yeah, we've definitely made some progress on our journey.
Yes, we have.
So, where should we go today?
I don't know. Technically Fontaine is next, but wait a moment.
Huh? What's up?
Who's there? Who are... Be careful. Someone's coming. It looks like a standard, samurai, but with a different sword, I think.
Hey! What the heck was that for?
Sudden attacker. Yeah, that sword looks unique.
Doesn't want to talk, huh? Alright, let's convince him to calm down a little.
Yeah, let's.
Gotcha.
Are you? Am I not hurting you?
Huh? So you don't have a vision after all?
No. No, I don't. But the Vision Hunt decree is over, dude.
Seems like I've mistaken you for someone else.
Who did you think I was? How many blonde travelers are there?
At the very least, you should make sure you've got the right person before you go attacking them.
Seriously. Thank you, Paimon.
No, wait. Even when you've got the right person, you shouldn't go attacking them out of the blue. It's dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, don't just start attacking people out of just randomly or out of nowhere.
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kaedahara Kazuha?
I am good friends with Kaedahara Kazuha, thank you very much. You leave him alone.
He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animo vision.
Do I look like I fit the description of Kazuha? Dude, we look nothing alike. Why are you looking for him anyways? If you want to attack him, I will stop you.
That's none of your business.
It is absolutely my business.
Never mind. You don't look like you know anything anyway. I'm wasting my time.
I actually know a lot, but I wouldn't tell you even if you weren't going to storm off. I also think we should stop him, though.
What the heck is this guy's problem? Coming around here, waving that weird sword in our faces.
Seriously.
And didn't even apologize.
I know, right?
Seems like a real nutcase.
The least you could do after attacking someone is say, I am so sorry. But no, he's just an asshole.
Well, one thing's for sure. No way are we telling him anything about Kazuha.
Couldn't agree more. Very smart, for once.
Hey, don't be mean. Paimon's smart lots of the time.
You are smart some of the time, Paimon. Some of the time.
Anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go fight Kazuha right away and tell him to watch his back.
Yeah, I'm sure he can handle himself, but better safe than sorry. Ooh, actually, I have a hunch.
Oh? What kind of hunch?
Well, not a brunch or a lunch. A hunch, Paimon. I think this guy may have a special connection to Kazuha. Well, yeah, some kind of connection. I mean, obviously he knows him. Based on what he said, it doesn't sound like he's actually out. Like, he when he said the whole thing about the vision, I was like, oh, I was thinking Vision Hunt Decree, but no. I don't know.
A special connection? You mean beyond already knowing each other?
Can't say for sure, but I feel like their fighting styles are kind of similar. Really? Huh.
Yeah. maybe a little. But then again, most people look pretty much the same once they start fighting, so that doesn't really prove anything.
Right. Well, no, that's not entirely true, Paimon. People have very different fighting styles.
Anyway, there's no time to lose. Let's go tell Kazuha so we won't get into any danger.
Wait, do we actually know where he is right now, though? He is a Ronin who just sort of wanders around, remember? I guess he could be on the ship.
Paimon heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment.
Oh, perfect.
Let's look for him there.
Yeah. I was gonna say Beto. I was thinking Liyue, but this makes more sense. Strange and friendless road. I wonder if this is canonically before or after that last event that we saw that takes place here. Was it 2.6 or something? I think the one with where Albedo came. Hello there, Chow.
Hey! Hello? Do you know where Kazuha is?
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive after all.
Two? Wait, that guy didn't already come here, did he?
Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor, we ran into a huge crowd of Inazumans, all of them wanting to know about Kazuha.
Huh. What the hell? So it wasn't just that guy.
If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting this kind of attention.
Battle on Nizuchi Beach. Which battle are you talking about?
Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
He's a free spirit. He's more a friend to the crew than crew itself.
Oh, so you still don't know what he did?
Apparently not. Or where he is, for that matter.
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's
Oh,
Muso no
that.
Hitotachi.
Yeah, he did, but that wasn't on a beach. That was right in front of her palace. Yeah, I guess, yeah, people would want to know him after that. Don't tell me that guy is just seeking to prove himself against Kazuha. That's... poor Kazuha.
Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be?
Yes. Yes, it is. You could compare it to the technique Beto used to strike down Haishan.
Really? Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. In that case, his newfound stardom is well deserved.
I mean, I'd probably put it higher than that even. Honestly. Not to say that Beto's act and everyone who took part in that battle wasn't impressive.
He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryou Commission. They said they had something important to discuss with him.
Yeah.
I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him. Seems like they really respect the guy.
Good. I'm glad to see Kazuha's reputation turned around.
Just a little while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable.
It really would have. Yeah, I mean, even though he doesn't have plans on stopping his wandering, it's good to know he can still call Inazuma home once again. He doesn't have to eternally exile himself. Shogunate probably wants to show some goodwill. After all, the Raiden Shogun's mindset has changed.
Thank you! Guess we'll go pay a visit to the Tenryou Commission.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right then. I'll just stay here and carry on trying to fend off the crowd.
Alright, Paimon. Let's head out. Kazuha, are you here? Is the new head of the, hello there, Ikeda. Head of the family here, too. Of the clan, I guess. Oh, yeah, there he is.
Oh? It's you.
Yeah, hi, Kazuha. Just so you know, there's someone trying to attack you.
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt Decree. Since you're here, you're very welcome to listen in on the conversation.
Well, thank you, Kamaji.
We invited Mr. Kaidahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the Shogunate.
Lovely.
Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been granted the chance to correct my clan's past mistakes, and for that, I'm deeply grateful. The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years.
Good, good. Very good to hear.
The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaidahara name.
Awesome.
Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed?
I've heard a thing or two, but I'm gonna say I forget just to get a refresher.
In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the Shogun directly,
Yeah.
responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the Almighty Shogun.
I remember that
The
bit.
Kaidahara clan belonged to this class. But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaidahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period of great turmoil.
Yeah. There was a lot of, well, all the stuff we covered in that event. A lot of, backstabbing or subterfuge there involved in that.
We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaidahara clans was neither proper nor just.
Wait, did I know that bit? The Fatui were the ones who had orchestrated that? Because that was... I mean, that was a while ago that happened.
Considering Mr. Kaidahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the Almighty Shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements, but also receive recompense for the excessive punishment borne by his clan in the past. In the interest of preventing further harassment of the Bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations into these matters. We trust you can understand why this was necessary.
I mean, I don't know. Kind of would like it to be publicized, but I guess I can understand.
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the Almighty Shogun and the Shogunate at large. However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
Yeah, that's a good question, Kazuha. I'd be kind of surprised if it didn't.
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice.
You sure? Not even a single tiny string?
With the Kaidahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaidaharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to an end.
There it is.
You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City with the Almighty Shogun's blessing and full support of the Shogunate.
But, I mean, their style was lost, though, I thought. I don't think he could become a bladesmith anymore, at least not really take up his family's style.
I have grown accustomed to life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the tall walls of a stately abode.
Yeah.
Yet my ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaidahara, and the art of blade making for which it stood. I do have a responsibility to restore their honor.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Your first responsibility is to do what makes you happy. I mean, if you want to honor your family, then sure. But I would have to think they would want you to, if they're a good family, they're going to place your needs above their own.
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
Malicious rumors?
Malicious rumors?
Yeah.
All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered whether there was another Kaedahara Kazuha in town.
Well, I mean, he's famous is all. I mean, I would want to meet the guy who blocked the Shogun's sword. That's insane.
Well, to some, the Muso no Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaedahara really parried the Shogun's strike.
I mean, I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I can confirm he did, in fact.
Also,
block it.
eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Animo. As a result, the falsehood that Kaedahara Kazuha was using a delusion began to spread.
What? Bullshit. Though I also don't exactly remember him using Electro, but it's been a while since I saw that cutscene, so...
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion turns you old and frail, and Kazuha still looks fine.
Though it does raise the question why D-Luke looks fine. I guess he didn't use it very much or for very long. And his father, for that matter, actually.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding 2 elements at once is a more inconceivable notion still.
Exhibit A. Miss Traveler.
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, no matter whether it brings suspicion or stardom my way.
Right.
But perhaps if the Shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation will blow over more quickly.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
Please allow me some time to consider.
Yeah. Do consider, but, you know, don't do something it's going to make you miserable just to, you know, honor the dead. It's nice to honor the dead, but not at the expense of the living.
In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the 2 of you here?
We wanted to warn you about a crazed swordsman.
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important thing!
You and Paimon recount the attack on the outskirts of the town.
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me?
I don't know, but the fact that he attacked us on sight, thinking for some reason that we were you, I imagine whatever he wants with you isn't good. Could it be someone who trained with you, someone you trained with under the same master? Do you have any siblings?
No. This puzzles me as much as it does you. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. We undergo rigorous training to standardize every motion the blade is put through, so that each can be fairly assessed for quality.
Right.
Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaedahara sword art, focused on blade testing, but with a full repertoire of combat forms.
Nice.
Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity you speak of was coincidence alone.
Yeah. I mean, there'd definitely be inefficiencies in a combat style that, well, wasn't actually designed for combat, just for testing a weapon.
All the more reason to watch your back! This guy was a serious nutcase.
Yeah, he was kind of a jerk.
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive. Anyone he targets is at risk of serious injury, or worse.
Yeah, no, we're lucky that, the person he targeted, Traveler, was more than capable of fending him off.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search for him.
Excellent. You know, you're a good proxy clan head there, Kamaji.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will also need some time to consider your offer. I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked her, then give you a conclusive answer upon my return.
Very well. Please stay safe.
Oh, we will. Worry not.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
Good to be with you again, Kazuha. I like you a lot. I love your outlook on life and just...
Agency knows the most about
Oh,
what
Heizo.
goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to say.
Or not. Yeah. I love his outlook on life and just his general demeanor. Detective Agency, we have some questions for you.
Hey there! We'd like to ask you a quick question. Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him? For Kaidahara Kazuha, we mean.
Yeah. Anyone ask you to investigate him or something?
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaidehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
Aw, I'm glad that it, you view this as a positive thing rather than, partaking in all the malicious rumors.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest. Mr. Kaidehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him.
Right. Anyone big with, an ominous-looking sword, perhaps?
To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaidehara's personal information.
Don't give out personal information. Jeez.
Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they
Damn.
want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
I'm glad to see she didn't.
Millions? Of Mora?
This is Paimon.
Whoa! Oh, wait. Even at that price, you probably still shouldn't.
No, you should not, Paimon. You should not sell other people's personal information like that. That's not good. No bueno.
Please, accept my thanks for looking out for my privacy.
Yeah. Good job, guys.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it.
Good. Very good.
Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaidehara.
Yeah, but this one is different.
But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual?
A very good question, Kazuha. Yeah, if we look into other attacks, it might, put together a pattern or lead us to the culprit.
The Tenryou Commission had very few leads. I thought you might have some information from different sources.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
Right. So there have been no reports about that then.
That does make sense.
It does.
Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I mean, we could just go wander around Byakko Plains with Kazuha and wait for him to attack us, I guess. Probably will eventually.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere.
Yeah, it's surprising. Because the fact that they attacked us, just out of the blue, without question, thinking it was you, I'd have to imagine they would attack others too.
Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now.
You would think. I guess they could have been killed and just no one knows yet. Is this your way of giving praise? Aw. He's not wrong, though. It was also not easy for me to fight him off.
I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me. In fact, I'm quite relieved that you were the one he targeted.
That's what I was saying earlier. Yeah. If he had targeted someone, well, less combat capable, could have turned out terribly. Just tragedy.
It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life because of me.
It would not have been because of you, Kazuha. It'd be because of that guy. He bears 100% of the blame.
For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaedehara.
He is.
Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty Shogun.
It also is. And he was kind of protecting me, I think, at the time. If I'm remembering right.
You flatter me. Truth be told, I don't know quite what came over me in that moment.
Yeah. I mean, it was a gamble. I mean, you had no way of knowing whether you would succeed, and you had a comrade at one point, if I remember right, that tried and failed.
You are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely understand your concerns. I will try my best to gather whatever leads I can for you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, actually, there was one strange incident over the last few days. It doesn't involve an attack, though.
Well, worth a shot. Do tell.
Let me tell you about it just in case.
Sure. During times like this, the more information we have, the better.
Exactly.
All right, then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time.
Okay.
One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Oh, I've heard of them before, I think.
Amanoma. Now there's a familiar name.
Yeah. Didn't the Smiths have, like, the Amanoma name or something?
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the owner of Amenoma Smithy.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on. Okay. I wonder if Amenoma Yuya was the, person who attacked us then.
2 grown men going missing at the same time. Their cases are likely connected, but I don't know much in the way of details. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you are looking for.
Wasn't Amenoma also one of, like, just the great swordsmithing families too, clans? I mean, they're still smithing. But I think they were beyond just regular smiths of, equivalent status as the Kaedehara clan used to be.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man, nor do I have any idea why he may wish to attack me.
Well, let's consider this a favor for Ryuji. We'll investigate both incidents at the same time.
Sure, can't hurt. We never know what we might find out along the way.
Exactly. I'm sure they'll connect together again.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some inquiries at the Amenoma Smithy.
Sounds good. All the best with your investigation. I'll get moving shortly myself.
Thank you. All right. Let's head on over here. Hello there, Amenoma Togo.
Ah, if it isn't Kaedehara Kazuha. What brings you here today?
Huh? You two know each other?
I mean, if they know each other, maybe the guy who attacked us does know Kazuha, personally. But no, if that was the case, he never would have mistaken us for Kazuha.
Yes, the Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden.
Right, okay, I was right about that.
Historically, there have always been deep links between the 2 clans. After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects.
Oh, nice. Raiden Gokuden. Well, yeah. Don't you remember, Traveler? Or maybe you don't know yet at this point in the story. The various swordsmithing families.
Ah, let me quickly explain. The Raiden Gokuden was the collective term for the 5 most acclaimed bladesmithing arts in Inazuma.
Exactly.
The techniques of blade making were personally bequeathed to the Raiden Gokuden by the almighty Shogun, and over time, further honed and enhanced by the most talented craftsmen. Unfortunately, a series of events led to the gradual decline of many clans in the bladesmithing trade. Today, only the Amenoma clan has kept its art alive.
So they are the last one. That's also about what I thought, too.
So sad.
It is a great pity indeed. In the old days, we each had our specialties. And just as iron sharpens iron, so too did we learn much from each other.
Yeah. But it's, well, can't really reclaim those old days. That knowledge is pretty much lost at this point, I think.
As an example, the Amenoma art strives to emulate the abiding patience and determination of water as it turns stone to sand.
Nice little bit of, a nice little metaphor.
There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life. As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called the Ishin art.
You are correct, Togo.
That's right. Ishin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins.
Well, you definitely have harmony between blade and mind.
For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
That's also lovely.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Ishin blade chooses its owner. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Ishin blade.
Yeah.
It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedehara clan has fallen on hard times, its ideals and virtues are alive and well.
Yeah. Carried on through Kazuha, even through his family's lowest moments. Also pretty cool that he has one of their, remaining Ishin blades.
You overestimate me. My actions are guided by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf of my clan. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing nephew. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah, yes. My nephew. I reported the case to the Tenryou Commission, but I haven't heard anything back so far.
They didn't tell us about it either, but I guess they didn't see a connection.
He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him. I'm still completely at a loss on what to make of it.
Weird. It's gotta have to do with that weird sword. I'm still assuming that they're the same person.
But I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile. All I can do now is wait for the news from the Tenryou Commission.
Right. Let the professionals handle it.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Oh yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe the collector was collected swords and things, and that sword was amongst his collection, and ended up in the nephew's hands, and the rest is we know.
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give me a great gift.
Great gift.
I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse. And neither of them came back.
Great gift could be the sword, maybe. A fire?
Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind, so nobody knows what really happened.
Do you have any thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to give you?
Yeah, no, that'll help a lot.
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up.
I agree. It's gotta be that sword.
He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade testing, and can sense even the most minute differences in blade quality.
Impressive.
He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts, particularly when it comes to the art of the sword.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. The person we are looking for, he attacked this friend of mine.
He did. It may have been your nephew.
Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the suspect's profile.
What? No. Absolutely impossible. Yuya is not that kind of person.
I think I agree. That sword had an ominous feeling to it. It wouldn't be surprising to me if it was corrupting his mind or something.
He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind. He has never gotten into a fight before.
Awesome. Seems like a good guy.
Is that so?
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason.
I'm happy to hear it. But, I still think it might have been Yuya, though.
But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear, with neither farewell nor fair warning.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, I imagine that the corruption would have happened after he got the sword, not before.
I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced, or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Of course.
Don't worry. You have our word.
Hopefully he's not in trouble.
From the sound of that, Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
Well, we still need to get the info from the Nagato family.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men met each other.
It does.
Let's pay a visit to the Nagato household.
Where is the Nagato household? Way up there? Man, they have a good house. Great view. Prime location. Are you okay there, Nagato Sachiko?
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now.
No, we're not debt collectors.
My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
No, you misunderstand us. We are here to help with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Nagato's disappearance, if we may.
Yeah. Okay, this is interesting, though. So apparently they're in massive debt?
Ah, I see. I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again.
I feel like that could be important.
I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information come out? Do you know where he's gone?
No. We need, whatever you can tell us about him.
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. We're still trying to find out as much as we can to inform our search. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
Because he's a collector, which means he spends a lot of money on rare artifacts and antiques.
That's a long story. Ever since I've known him, he's been an avid collector of all sorts of things. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him.
I wonder, maybe he was trying to sell that sword to the guy. To Yuya. To cover some of his debts? I don't know. Maybe not.
Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh, what happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things, and even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them.
Yep. See, Paimon?
Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful.
There's the weapon connection.
There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse, admiring his weapons even as debt collectors were descending upon our house. He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance.
Back a little bit. Always so animated, yeah. Everything was fine when we first got married. Things changed for the worst. Lost his sense of restraint. Right. So it says he wouldn't sell them or touch them. Interesting. I mean, if it was like he was in a trance, maybe it was that sword doing it to him. He, collected it, influenced his mind.
I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come first. I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens.
I'm so sorry.
On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me.
Yeah. Unfortunately, if he refused to talk, probably the best move on your part, rather than letting him drag you all down with him.
Whoa!
Yeah. It's extreme, but it sounds like he was really spiraling, and it sounds like there wasn't much she could do. Okay, maybe he was trying to sell it then.
And that led to an argument.
Actually, it didn't. Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making to me. You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink.
Yeah. I mean, debt is one of the main causes of things like divorce.
After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell.
Aw.
His voice was so meek and pitiful that I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what? If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family?
No, I agree. You did the right thing. Boundaries are important.
Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament.
Maybe. We might have found ways of indulging in his habits behind your back instead.
And I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or if he was simply angry with me. The next thing I heard was that our warehouse had caught fire, and both he and the buyer had gone missing.
Okay, so the guy was... So Yuya was buying the weapon. Why did it catch fire?
I see. I understand. Ame no Yuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale, a fire broke out at the warehouse, and both men disappeared.
Yeah.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price.
I don't think that's it.
But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce argument.
Maybe he was feeling the pressure from the debts?
Maybe. Nah, I think it's more ominous, more sinister than that.
I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down.
They didn't find his body or any remains. No obvious casualties of the fire.
Perhaps he's too afraid to come home now that all his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debts.
Maybe.
Even though I'm still a little mad at him, we're a family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together. As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Yeah, I respect that. I hope he's all right.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye.
True. In fact, I'm expecting it.
If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period.
That's true. That is very true.
But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Ame no Yuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument.
Also true.
This situation is getting a little confusing.
I agree. Unless, like I said, the sword.
A little confusing. More like completely mystifying.
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can piece together what we've learned.
Sure thing. Where do you want
Rest
to go?
assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Yeah. We'll try to bring your husband back if we can.
Thank you so much. I just want him to come home.
Well,
Based
Kazuha?
on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance.
No, I agree.
The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery.
Yeah, I'm not sure how it broke out exactly or why, but like I said, I still think the key is that sword. Maybe it caused them to fight. Maybe it's like the One Ring and caused them to fight over it or something, and somehow that led to a fire breaking out.
Do you have any thoughts?
I do, but we'll see if it can answer.
Well, Paimon was thinking that maybe someone accidentally knocked over an oil lamp and,
Somehow I don't think that's it, Paimon.
Nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to rest for a while. Over to you.
Well, they must have had an argument during the sale. Perhaps the fire was deliberately used to hide the truth. That's a distinct possibility. Sabotage.
An interesting explanation. I was also considering this possibility.
Yeah, I had the thought a while ago, but
Ame no Yuya is an expert on swords. He could have noticed some problematic details about Mr. Nagato's collectibles.
Could have.
Maybe he recognized a blade as a fake, or a well-known stolen item. Either way, after arguing about it, the two men agreed to hide the truth of this matter. They thought a fire would destroy everything. But then the Tenryo Commission began investigating and uncovered some incriminating details, so they fled to protect their secrets.
That's a workable hypothesis.
But it's a far-fetched theory. I can't imagine how they would have been able to reach an agreement.
Sure. I mean, it's at least an idea of how things could have unfolded.
One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introverted and passive. Neither seems like the type of person who is inclined towards initiating conflict.
Yeah, I agree. Unless there was a corrupting influence present.
Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to disappear after the fire. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there?
This also doesn't seem connected to the case of the attacker. I actually think it is. Like I said, I think that attacker was Yuya, with one of the swords from Nagato's collection. I think the sword was the catalyst that led to a fight that resulted in the fire, perhaps.
Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together. Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing techniques of Amenoma art, not those of the combat-oriented Ishin art.
That is actually a fair point. What if it was an Ishin blade that he found, and I don't know. They say that the Ishin blades choose their owners. I don't know, could it have imparted some sort of, I don't know, knowledge to him? It doesn't make a lot of sense, but
Darn!
it did look like a magical
We thought we
blade
could
after
get
all.
2 birds with 1 stone here, but at this rate, it's starting to look like a wild goose chase.
Let's keep going, since we've come this far.
Absolutely. But where to next? We could investigate the burnt down warehouse. But beyond that, I don't know if we have any more leads.
If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
True. Worth solving in just for that reason alone.
Okay, but where should we go now?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse.
Exactly.
There's still a chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence.
And really, it is actually our only lead at this point. This is a new world quest I think we just unlocked. Answer me this, Outlander. Talk to Miyajima. Interesting. Alright. But that's not where we're going right now. Alrighty.
Wait,
Yeah?
I hear something ominous in the wind.
Is it the guy?
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear.
Maybe.
As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Beto's tournament, so...
Yeah, that's right. I knew we could count on you.
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound. It's right around here somewhere.
You just like a dog, Kazuha.
But there's nothing here.
Is it a person or the warehouse you're smelling?
It's gone now, but I can still sense the direction it left in. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma. The remnants of the Tatarigami.
Really? Huh, yeah, that's one thing I didn't expect to encounter here. Is... because the Tatarigami, if I'm remembering right, was basically... that leftover, or that it was the energy in the island that was running out of control for a while. I don't remember if it was God residue. I think that was only the further south island or further west island. Were they related?
Indeed. But this unexpected spring of inauspicious energy may prove to be of benefit to our investigation.
I do think it was useful for foraging, if I remember right.
We should remain vigilant and approach slowly.
Yeah.
Huh. So it's an underground warehouse.
Oh. Not what I was expecting.
The force is definitely coming from down below.
Do we have a domain?
The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place, but the residue it left behind still hasn't dissipated completely.
I see.
Judging from the concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatarigami source resided here for a very long time.
I'll bet. I think it's gotta be the sword. Right? It's like tainted with the energy. Oh no, so it was the from the god residue. From what was it, Oroboshi or whatever. The god from, if I remember right, it's the same god that resided in Konomiya. But okay, so that's even worse. Yeah. So that sword holds angry god residue. That cannot be good.
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself a lot.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that time.
It seems possible. Surely someone would have noticed. Well, I mean, depends on if they know what to look for, I guess.
From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon whom it preys into violent monsters.
Right.
But most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Their interests become fanatical obsessions.
Which lines up with the collector. But doesn't quite line up with the stubborn streak bit. Doesn't quite line up with the end. So that's kind of interesting. That's also, that's a quest we still need to do. Or figure out. Well, you know, that's the one island we haven't done a major world quest for, I think.
Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possessions, even as he put himself in grave debt.
It could.
So what should we do now? Go down and take a look?
Absolutely.
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside.
That's dangerous. No, we should go with you.
If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth. You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than this.
Oh, very true.
Relatively speaking, the risk here is trivial.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, it's not like we haven't just spent our time on that island for quite, quite extended periods. I doubt that Tatarigami energy here could be that bad, relatively speaking. Yeah?
What's down there?
Ashes?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything.
Huh. I guess no domain after all.
It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
So in the end, it was just a scare. I'm not sure if that's good or a bad thing.
That was too scary! Paimon was so sure that the warehouse boogeyman was about to jump out at us!
This is the warehouse, but Paimon. That's not a thing. Now, the warehouse Paimon eater. That is what you need to look out for.
All we can do now is keep searching in the direction that the Tatarigami energy's source left this place. 2 ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune has already befallen them.
Very possible. I still think this is directly related to the guy who attacked us. Can you follow them for us or show us the way? Can't afford to delay.
Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's vital that we find out where this Tatarigami energy is coming from.
Absolutely.
Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you. Perhaps you, too, will perceive its ominous presence in the wind.
Oh yeah, I do. Jeez. Very ominous. Here we are. More of it. All this dark energy. Going back to Inazuma City, though.
From this point, the trail appears to split into two.
The two different people.
The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance, but a small portion remained here, and seems to be dissipating slowly.
Yeah, two parts. So that would correspond to Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuya.
Quite possibly. Let's search the area.
All right.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls!
Where?
They're acting really strangely.
What? What hilly
Something
trolls?
seems to be drawing their attention. Let's take a closer look.
Oh, there they are. Man, they're digging like crazy, yeah.
Illusion shattered!
It's...
What?
Ugh! Look at this red stuff! What is it?
I don't know. You tell me. I can't even see it.
by the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of torn clothing. The ink is bone dry. It must have been written quite some time ago.
Strange. A letter written on a piece of clothing that's really old.
Well, let's take a look.
Absolutely. This was found in the... something that the Tatarigami energy guys had. I am Nagato. I was wounded by Amenoma Yuya. Not surprising. He took my most precious blade. I chased him, but could not catch him. I lay down here to rest on account of my exhaustion. I thought that I might croak right here. My stomach kept on bleeding, but it seems that some strange power has sustained me. Why did he steal that blade? I was going to sell it to him. He even burned my warehouse down. Well, this explains a few things. Quite a few of them, in fact. Ugh, it hurts. It hurts! But for some reason, I can't fall unconscious. So all I can do is to distract from the pain as right. What will happen to Sachiko, Yuichi, and Yuji? I'm sorry to them. I really am. Only now do I realize how stuck in my ways I was, and how blind to my obsession I must have been. How blind to my obsession. I must have been cursed. Pretty close, actually. I collected all those strange and bizarre things, but they won me not one iota of happiness or warmth. Put all of it together, and it still wouldn't have been worth a single word from her mouth. Thank you. Sorry for letting you down, Sachiko. Damn. Well, I think if you make it back, you'll have a good second chance with her.
According to this letter, a conflict arose because Amenoma Yuya wanted to seize a blade belonging to Mr. Nagato.
Yep.
Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nagato kept chase as long as he could, eventually stopping here to write this letter when his strength gave out.
Where is he now? I don't see his body.
So, where is he?
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Add to that the fact that its aura seems to have attracted a horde of monsters, and I'm afraid he may no longer be with us.
Yeah, it's a distinct possibility. Though I would have expected to find some remains of him here, besides this letter.
Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point, they've since been disturbed by the hilly churls. There's nothing more for us to find here.
I suppose so. Shoot. Well, we can still ask the Tenryou Commission to do a thorough search later, but yeah, there's other things we need to do right now.
Right now, we need to uncover some more important truths.
Prevent more harm from being done.
If Ame no Mayuya is attacking other people indiscriminately, then the longer we take to find him, the more people risk meeting the same tragic end.
Yep.
Right, so let's get moving.
How did it come to this? It's not in his nature. Yeah, but the Tatarigami energy.
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey to the influence of the Tatarigami.
Yeah, that sword definitely had an ominous vibe to it.
For a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest desire to inflame would be their pursuit of further power and skill.
Maybe that's why he's after you? Because you blocked the Muso no Hitotachi? Or Hitotachi? Hitotachi or Hito? Whatever. That would make sense. Yeah, that's what I think I suggested way back. That he was just trying to prove himself against you.
All the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnected, it seems that now we know the thread that runs between them.
Yeah. This doesn't help us. Well, I guess we can follow the Tatarigami energy, and hopefully that'll take us to him.
I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not only explains the series of events leading to the two men's disappearance, but also zeroes in on the attacker's identity.
Yeah? Or do you not think it's one of them? Or do you not think it's Amenoma, Yuichi?
You figured it
Yuya,
out?
Yuya.
So these two cases are connected after all?
Absolutely, Paimon.
I believe so. But it's something of an outlandish idea. I will only be able to confirm my suspicions once we've met him in person.
I don't think it's that outlandish. Unless you're suggesting it was some third person.
On with the search. We must stay vigilant. At any point now, we may find ourselves in danger.
Absolutely. I wonder why this sword, though, is so cursed. Going all the way to that island, huh? You here, buddy?
He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
I wonder why.
Why here? Is there anything special about this place?
Good question, Paimon. Kazuha?
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have lingered here at several different points in time.
Huh. Weird. So he keeps coming back here. This place holds some special significance to him specifically, then?
Show yourself! It's no use hiding anymore.
Is it you? Got the Tatarigami energy on him.
Kaede Harakazua. It's you, at last.
It is.
Aha! So it is the same guy from before.
Yes, it is.
What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against Kazuha?
Nice. Didn't we fix that storm, though? I think he just wants to prove himself. Go up against the man who was able to block the Shogun. But also, yeah, I still wonder why that sword is tainted like that.
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Ame no miHoYo that stands before us. But what if instead of facing Ame no miHoYo, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
I see. Very, very interesting. That feels like a JoJo's reference, honestly. Well, it's a pretty classic, so not necessarily, but... The blade?
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange light.
Yes.
Whoa! Surely you don't mean... Are you serious?
Is this a blade you know, though, Kazuha? And would the whatever presence is within the blade know the Ishin arts?
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any living organisms in its vicinity.
Right.
The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using the sale as a means to affect, or rather as a means to occupy, Ame no miHoYo's body.
So it is a bit different than I was originally thinking. I was thinking he was just corrupting Ame no miHoYo, making him more violent, but literally usurping his body.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter.
So who are you then?
Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Ishin tradition. I was his pride and joy. In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams.
So why do you want to attack Kazuha?
As a descendant of the Kaedehara clan, you should be able to guess our greatest regret.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations.
Yeah.
In the end, all he could do was to flee the nation by sea on a ship bound for Snezhnaya.
You mean Kazuha's ancestor? I mean, because the whole thing about not living up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations was, well, it was sabotage.
He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and a little faith.
Of course, maybe this is a separate incident.
And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, it culminated in his creation of me.
Damn. An intelligent sword.
He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own.
That's actually pretty awesome.
In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable achievement in the art of blade forging.
And so what are you bitter at Kazuha for?
So, swords can become conscious and control people?
Well, with God residue, apparently so. It's not the most surprising thing we've run into in this world, Paimon.
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one, but in all other respects, an ordinary weapon. But that gave me the opportunity to take action. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one person to the next, I controlled the minds of countless hosts along the way, each bringing me one step closer to my ancestral home.
Wow. I have to wonder what all those, the fate of all those people. I mean, they get their hands on a sword one day, come possessed, and next thing they know, they're halfway across the world. But yeah, and let me guess, once you found your ancestral home, or you got here to find that your ancestral home had been basically destroyed.
I seek but one thing, to face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power, the might of Ishin art.
Oh. I mean... Damn. I mean, you're a bit late, though, buddy.
Ah, so miHoYo was not your first victim. Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you've finished using them?
Good question. I was wondering that myself.
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission.
I mean, you should care. But, well, you're just a dark blade, I guess.
When they got tired, or injured, or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma.
You're awful.
Yeah, pretty bad.
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until miHoYo handed himself over to me on a silver platter. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By miHoYo's body, I have found you, and by your hand, I shall defeat the Raiden Shogun.
Well, okay, you're getting a little ahead of yourself there, buddy. Kazuha successfully blocked the Muso no Hitotachi. But, that's a very different thing than beating the Raiden Shogun.
Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's Muso no Hitotachi.
It is Hitotachi.
There can be no other to serve as my host for what is to come. Now, give your body over to me!
No. Oh, nice. Free a merchant attacker.
Busted! Gotcha! Ha! Wind Strider!
Rewrite history!
Cyclone! There is no escape!
Shall rewrite history!
Oh, nice. Nice vortex there. You got this, Kazuha, right? I wanted to use his, No, not quite. Oh, I think we got it. There we go.
As one with wind and cloud! Busted!
Here we are.
Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down too!
I mean, if you're capable of doing that already, I mean, what do you need him for?
Your bluff's
Go
fooling
fight the,
no one. You've lost.
Go fight the Shogun. Well, not with his body, though.
Lost. I can never lose. It is this body that has reached its limit, nothing more.
No, you've lost.
Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but this man.
We'll just pry you from his hands.
He is but a puppet that can be replaced. I can take a new vessel at will.
Then we'll smash you into pieces.
The end result is the same. I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger.
So we're at an impasse.
And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback. My consciousness shall endure.
I don't know. Kazuha, what do you think?
By any means necessary, and any medium available, I shall return and fulfill my destiny!
It's not your destiny, though. If you fight the Royal Raiden Shogun, you're just gonna be destroyed.
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Ishin art. But from your movements, I sense only hatred and arrogance, as well as a thinly veiled mania and despair.
Yeah, not surprising, given what we're seeing.
Really? You can tell all that just from his moves?
Yeah, Kazuha's like, you know, it's just... Kazuha is extremely perceptive.
As I've mentioned before, The forms of Ishin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings.
Right.
Since the blade is currently possessing Aminome Yuya's body, its movements express the innermost thoughts of the blade. If you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded ambition. You believe I am your only hope.
To defeat the Shogun. I still don't think you could do it, even with the blade.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you?
You kind of are. If not, you would have already challenged the Shogun.
On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Ishin Art's secrets. The little that you know barely scratches the surface.
I don't know about that. You don't know how much Kazuha knows.
In that regard, why would I ever need your help?
Well, you're the one who sought it. You tell us.
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed a cursed blade that can possess its owner. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. You weren't biding your time. You were trapped.
That makes sense.
After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point that you are now unable to acquire a new host without making physical contact.
Slowly becoming a normal blade.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembers now. Mr. Nagato had a habit of never touching his collectibles.
Right.
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did you finally have an opportunity to reach out to Aminome Yuya and make your escape.
And what of it?
Well, that brings me to my second point. There's a despair in you that is so strong it threatens to overwhelm you.
Yeah.
You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand
It really
and
is.
too heavy for you to bear. Each step you have taken has come at a great cost. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater your fear of losing everything you had achieved grew, and the more you wished to run from the truth.
Damn, Kazuha. He really does see through people so well. Or blades in this case.
But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since become a delusional fantasy.
Definitely. Yeah, like I said, I think the chance is pretty much zero that you could, fulfill your goal of defeating the Shogun.
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving my goal.
You're one step away from failing to achieve your goal.
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Ishin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities and showed a blatant disregard for human life.
Which goes against the Ishin arts.
Even if you were to sever that divine light, is this truly the outcome that your maker would have desired?
No.
You...
Sure, you inherited the secrets of Ishin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, you treated the ones who wielded you as mere tools to do your bidding.
Which is, as you had explained earlier, not what Ishin art is about.
How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Ishin art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle of harmony between a blade and its bearer?
Exactly. I mean, as an intelligent blade, one would think you would be able to actually become truly harmonious with your bearer, but now you took it in a completely wrong direction.
Silence, you blabbering fool! I must achieve my goal. This was his life's dream, and the very purpose for which I was brought into being. I will concede that you are most perceptive. You see my predicament clearly. But you also underestimate my resolve.
I don't know about that.
And you should face reality.
Yeah.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me nothing.
I mean, could offer you peace.
I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection, and certainly not your so-called reality.
So you're dead set on delusion? On, closing your eyes, lying to yourself?
It is pointless to argue further, descendant of the Kaedahara clan. If you wish to save this man, then offer me your body in exchange.
How stubbornly you stick to your wayward path.
Seriously.
I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty Shogun in your current state.
Yeah.
So let us make a bet, and I will put your strength to the test.
Oh?
What? Surely you're not planning to agree to his demands.
Well, no, he's not. He's making a bet that he is pretty sure he's gonna win.
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross blades. A taste of my power will more than convince you. Once we have dealt with them, we shall proceed to Tenshukaku.
You're, even if you get that far, you're not gonna like it.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose, you must release Amenoma Yuya from your control.
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
It's a risky strategy. You're dealing with a cursed blade that can possess people, yeah?
This is the only way to save Amenoma Yuya. If we don't do this, he'll forever be the blade's puppet.
Right.
The cursed blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests his heart is still not completely devoid of honor.
Good. So he should uphold his end of the bargain then.
The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuya fell prey to it. Since I don't have any similar kinds of obsessions, I should be able to put up some resistance for a while.
Yeah, that's true. He is very, at peace. Almost like, I don't know, he's just achieved a very Nen state.
But even so...
Even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have you both here with me.
Aw.
We have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
All right. It's not like I can stop you.
Your disdain for me
Your
betrays
choice
your
to-
woeful ignorance.
Your choice to
I
make.
agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too. Now, take me in your hand.
Yuya, are you fine? It's a nice sword. You okay?
Kazuha?
I'm okay.
For now, we need to hurry.
I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment.
Good.
It's all right. So far, this was as I expected.
If something feels off, though, just let me know immediately.
I will. Thank you.
Of course. Should we get this guy back?
What should we do
Or
next?
leave him here for the
Have
moment?
you got a plan, Kazuha?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights.
Oh yeah, true.
If a blade built for Ishin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, it cannot unleash its true power.
Of course, if it does enter a state of harmony with you, I imagine that'll also, in a sense, be a victory for you.
If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it. He shouldn't last long in an intense combat situation.
Who do you suggest we find? I mean, we can't just, beat up some random passerbys.
Wait a minute. Paimon remembers hearing about something from the Adventurers Guild.
Really? What?
Since the Takatsukasa clan abandoned that secret base, it's been held by Ronin ever since.
Oh, perfect. That should fit the bill.
Ah, all right. Please lead the way.
What about Amino Mayuya? What should we do with him?
The blade says he'll let Aminoma Yuya trail us silently.
Okay, so he hasn't released
Although
him
he
yet.
hasn't regained his own consciousness yet, he is not in any immediate danger.
Okay. I figured that once he released the sword that he would go back to normal, but I guess not.
Are we sure this is a good idea? It's a pretty treacherous journey.
Well, we don't have much choice, Paimon.
Okay, fine. Just be careful.
We will. Man, those Ronin so close to the Kamisato clan. That's pretty bold of them. All right. You ready, Kazuha? This was once a secret holding of the Takatsukasa clan, which was taken over by Ronin after being abandoned. If you should meet any resistance on the way in, well, might as well check how much strength remains in this mystical sword. Ooh, it's just him. Oh, but he's got that sword. It's a nice sword. Prized Ishin blade. Let's see. It's an attack based. And then normal charge for plunging attack hits an opponent. It will release an accursed spirit, dealing AoE damage equal to 180% of the attack, and restoring 100% of attack as HP. Oh, wow. That's actually kind of nice. This effect can be triggered once every 8 seconds. Okay. Damage done by this weapon's wielder is decreased by 50%. Never mind. Sorry, Blade, but you're actually kind of weak right now.
Leave everything on this journey to me.
You got it.
Wind Strider!
Yeah, you're actually kind of weak, Mr. Blade. There we go, a little bit of swirl there.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Get some swirl in here. You good?
How are you feeling? You okay?
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so long without proper use and maintenance, it's become very difficult to use.
Yeah, this blade is not nearly as good as it thinks it is at the moment. Perhaps was when it was first forged, but it is a shadow of its former self.
Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last much longer.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather than trying to control me, he is instead trying to match my fighting rhythm.
Trying to harmonize with you. Yeah, I mean, he wants to be a true Ishin blade.
Let's keep going.
I have hopes for this blade. Just maybe it can achieve Ishin. Chests. Oh, here's one.
Time to go.
Hey, guys.
It's my lucky day.
I'm here. Get over here.
Wind Strider. That blade. There's more. Wind Strider.
Actually, I'm curious if it updated anything about his weapon. It is trying to harmonize. Nope.
as one with wind and cloud. Wind strider.
There we go.
Whoa. Something's up with the blade.
Yeah, it's grown dimmer.
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. The blade is becoming more and more difficult for me to wield. He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting, he will likely break apart at any moment.
Excellent.
But what would that do to Amano miHoYo?
Ooh, good question.
I will be careful with it. He also says he does not have any plans to give up easily.
Shoot.
He's still trying to achieve his goal.
Well, I respect the tenacity. I guess I can't be too surprised that a sword wouldn't respect human life very much, but... Chests up here. No. Alright. One final room. Oh, hey there.
Wind strider.
You failed to Why is it not these torches, these sconces don't have any real fire? Get over here. There you go.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
Ow. All right, last one.
Are you okay? It looked like you were really struggling the entire fight.
Nah, Kazuha's strong.
Yes. And it looks like he's reached his limit.
Good.
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as it did at the start.
Using up the last bits of its energy.
Perhaps this time we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
With the blade?
True form? What are you talking about? Huh? What the?
What?
Is this the same blade
Hey.
as before? It looks like a piece of junk.
It does. I mean, centuries of no maintenance and use. Yeah. The wear and tear is severe.
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi, much less the almighty Shogun.
Seriously. You need a lot of maintenance and repair.
Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the long journey from Snezhnaya back to Inazuma has left you battered and broken. It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy.
It really is. It's even worse than I thought. Will he listen to you? Though the truth is right there in front of him.
I finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then you would still be able to wield commendable power.
Yeah, that's about what I figured.
But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty, nor can I empathize with the one who made you.
True, even if it's trying to match your rhythm. If the blade is just too different from the wielder, then...
The only one who truly understood you had already passed away by the time you were born.
Oh, yeah.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Here they are! Take them down!
Murayama,
Where do they keep coming from?
you shouldn't fight with this blade anymore.
Yup. We can help this time.
Yeah, we got this.
Don't worry, I'll use my own blade.
Oh, good.
It's just more of the same.
Get over here, buddy. Come on. Over here.
My blade! Fine. Wind strider.
Actually, your blade. Yeah, oh, wait. Fillet, the fillet blade? That is not your blade. That's not your blade at all.
One with wind and cloud.
You fought way better with your own sword.
Yeah.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though we fought briefly together, you have seen me for who I really am.
Yes. That's what Kazuha does.
No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. You are the first person to know the truth.
Kazuha is special.
I thought that if I could achieve Ishin harmony with you, perhaps there would still be a ray of hope for me.
Do you understand now, though?
But in this too, you have failed.
Yeah.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, I could not attain that perfect harmony that your personal blade does with
Aw.
you.
Yeah, he already has his blade.
Too much time has passed.
Not the sword he was using just
My
now, but...
physical state is poor, and without proper maintenance, I can only disguise my true appearance behind an outer sheen. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi. And what a magnificent blade it is. Perhaps I shall never reach that level of glory.
Well, not anymore, at least.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up during my travels in Liyue.
So it is. I was right. That was weird. It's like, this is not his blade. It was a 3-star.
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not everything. This blade has traveled the land with me for many years, and we have formed a close bond during that time. Plus, in the moment that I most needed it, I received aid from another power.
Wait, that's the sword? Is that actually the sword you blocked the Muso no Hitotachi with? Because damn.
Skill, blade, determination, and desire. All these must be aligned in the practice of Ishin art. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to possess your own consciousness derived from the power of the Tatarigami.
Right.
Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. It is the source of your mania and savagery. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, the part of you driven by Tatarigami was constantly trying to seize control of my body.
Which is another reason you'd never be able to harmonize with him.
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it. It is an integral part of my consciousness.
Right. Part of what makes you, you.
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. But I do not know whether you yourself have any intention of trying to fight it. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey bound for a destination you were destined never to reach.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I mean, you caused a lot of pain along the way, but...
The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed your true potential. And yet there was no way for you to turn your back on his ambition. You have known this for a long time. It is the true source of your despair.
Feeling bad for a sword.
He gave me everything. My life, my form, my consciousness, and purpose.
Yeah, well, quite literally everything.
How could I possibly deny him his wish?
You cared for him.
I said to him, "Do not worry. From here on, I shall forge your legacy." How could I go back on my word?
I mean... I don't know.
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing further to say.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
Yeah, where?
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. Let's give him some time to reflect on things.
Okay, but Amanoma needs his body back. Yeah.
When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was transported to a strange dimension.
Really?
It was somewhere I've never been. A bladesmith lay quietly on the bed, his frail face barely visible under the moonlight.
Oh, the forger.
His breaths were weak, and his life near its end.
Was it a memory then?
A newly forged blade lay by his side, listening attentively to his final words.
Wow. That was the Blade's memory, wasn't it?
I think you're right, Paimon.
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually learned the truth behind everything that had happened. The Ishin art had been dealt a devastating blow by the desertion of its best smiths.
Wait, was this during the time when they were sabotaged, when the plans were? I think it actually was, yeah.
He spent the rest of his life in the forge, not to vent his frustration and hatred, but to atone for his actions.
So he was built by the smith who failed to fulfill the Shogun's request and started the downfall of the Kaidahara clan. Damn.
He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. His sole wish was to one day return his single, proudest creation back to the land of his birth.
But then the sword took it a little too far and expanded that into fighting the Shogun.
So he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long or how hard the journey. But he never wished to rival the gods.
Right. I mean, he wasn't a fool. Was that, the residual anger of the Tatarigami energy towards the Shogun then?
All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith. That they were still worthy of being trusted.
Aw.
So that's the true story. But after that, the blacksmith's intentions were worked by the Tatarigami.
Exactly.
Slowly turning his proud creation into the cursed blade of today.
Exactly, Paimon. It is actually kind of sad for the blade. It's not entirely its fault that, it's born of Tatarigami, and that's just the nature of Tatarigami.
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of the Tatarigami. The hatred within that power is what sent the blade down its ill-fated path. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because it lost its original master. No one was there to correct its errors when it was losing its way.
Yeah.
Shame it's too late now.
It is, Paimon.
Yes, it is too late.
It's time for that blade to rest.
Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. While the world moved on, his ambition remained stubbornly stuck at that fleeting moment at the dawn of his journey. He seems to have calmed down, though. Let's go and check in.
Well, Mr. Cursed Blade, ere the end, a glance back.
when I look back at the past, I can remember the day of my forging like it was just yesterday. I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his wishes. Such was the debt I owed to him for giving me the gift of consciousness.
But you've already achieved his wishes.
But darkness and slaughter numb the mind. Over time, I lost sight of the difference between gratitude and grudge. Not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition, I also defiled it.
You did defile his ambition, but you also fulfilled it. You made it back to Inazuma.
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement and release Ame no miHoYo.
Good.
But I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. It is the entire purpose for my existence. So, may I ask you to help me fulfill the ambitions of myself and my creator?
I mean, the actual ambitions of your creator?
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix, too? Jeez, don't push your luck, mister.
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. And if you don't agree, I will still release Ame no miHoYo as promised.
Okay.
My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should still be of some value to you.
His attitude has grown a lot milder.
Yeah. I think he's been subdued. He's, accepted reality. At least partially.
What do you think, Kazuha? Should we give him a chance?
I mean, it doesn't hurt to hear him out.
Let's hear it.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally ill. He told me that he had wanted me to have the grandest opening battle.
A debut, if you will.
Alas, after that, he never rose from his sickbed again.
Aw.
Nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battle since. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the next step in my never-ending journey. The next in a long line of transgressions.
Right.
You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle and experience a true duel between samurai.
Okay.
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
Yeah.
I will release Ame no miHoYo and restore his consciousness. Perhaps after that, you can convince him to commit to a fight with you.
Yuya doesn't stand a chance against Kazuha. That's not fair.
He must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood. Then let's start by waking him up and seeing if he has the stamina and will to fight.
Yeah. Party explains the situation.
I see. He used my body to inflict harm on others.
He did. Sorry. It's not your fault, Yuya. You don't have to feel shame at this.
I utterly despise him and his actions. But since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, he must still have some remaining semblance of honor.
Yeah. He did have just a little bit left.
If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I am willing to put myself forward. I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
Awesome.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to the Tenryu Commission.
We will. Absolutely. Being possessed by a cursed sword, I think, is a very extenuating circumstance.
Thanks for your help. Who knows
Very
how this would have ended
exonerating
without your
circumstance at
intervention.
that.
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't stay here.
This is the perfect place to duel.
In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim for a greater sense of ceremony.
Oh? You're not gonna choose a duel before the throne, are you? Because then the loser dies. looks like we're going for the beach. No, I'm not sure if that's a much greater ceremony, but sure.
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash.
That was a much more relaxed occasion.
Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Even now, Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that blade hasn't told us everything.
You think? Not sure what else it could be hiding.
Still, even if he's way past the point of redemption, it's hard not to feel a teensy bit sorry for him.
Yeah, I think I agree, Paimon. I mean, the blade has committed numerous wrongs, and we don't actually know the fates of all those people, but it has definitely harmed a lot of people in its journey. But that was partially the influence of the Tatarigami, and, well, it is a little bit sad, at least.
Are you ready?
Ready? Okay. All right then. Successor of Ishin art, Kaedahara Kazuha.
Successor of Amenoma art.
Successor of Amenoma art. Amenoma Yuya.
Nice.
Honored to cross blades with you.
I don't know, maybe Amenoma is actually pretty good.
It is my honor also.
Get back here, you.
Wind Strider. Clouds high. The birds call. Wind Strider.
Almost got you there, Amenoma. Nice.
Thank you for the experience.
Of course, it really wasn't fair. You have a vision, he doesn't, but still.
Although he appears battered and broken, in your hands it seems he's regained a glimmer of brilliance.
Of course, he's also falling apart.
His sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away. But that same sense of determination remains strong.
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the experience.
Yeah, I hope so. One final duel.
There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you himself.
Oh?
I must apologize to you for all that has transpired.
Oh, wow.
You need not seek my forgiveness, nor do I have the right to forgive you on your victim's behalf.
Yeah, true. I mean, I do think he should apologize to you for stealing your body, but yeah. Only the actual people you hurt could forgive you.
It is too late for all of that.
And yeah, the people you hurt are already dead.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone, and not let them stain the legacy of Ishin art. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Ishin art still has a worthy successor in Kaedahara
really does.
Kazuha.
Kaedahara is just, he's a beautiful soul.
I beseech you, please understand this.
Yes, I too trust Mr. Kaedahara to do the right thing.
Thank you, successor of Amenoma art.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy.
Oh?
Maybe we can go back there together.
Sure.
What does he want to go there for?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I mean,
but
get
I
repaired?
think that all this is about to come to an end.
Does he want to get cleaned up a bit? I mean, it's not like he could have you do it. The smithing arts didn't get passed on to you. Just the Ishin arts of combat. Hey there, Amenoma.
It's
Togo.
Yuya! You have returned!
He has, and you were correct. He is a kind soul who would never do anything to hurt someone of his own free will.
I am sorry to have troubled you. It's all thanks to them that I was able to return safely.
A prized Ishin blade. Turned weapon that controls the human mind.
Yeah. Story right, right out of a fairy tale.
Considering their forging philosophy, this was indeed within the realm of possibility. This is a great pity. But I have some good news as well. Ryuji from the Bonton Sango Detective Agency tells me that they've found the missing Mr. Nagato.
Oh, nice. A happy ending for him.
Really? Is he okay?
Is he still in crippling debt?
Yes, badly wounded, but he will live. And now that Yuya is back, it seems like the final ending to this story is a happy one after all.
Well, except for Nagato's crippling debt.
I think I know what you want to do.
I imagine be reforged.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering in your ear again?
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for a brief moment.
Okay.
What? No way! Hasn't it learned its lesson?
So it can talk, Paimon.
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me that he won't use my body for anything nefarious.
Okay.
I have decided to let him do it.
Paimon.
Guess there's nothing we can say to change your mind, huh?
He's already done it. Relinquished control once to let him speak. I trust your judgment.
Thank you. I will explain my reasons later. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin. Please, stay true to your promise.
Ooh. I guess this is a little different.
Power is almost spent.
Oh.
Without him, my eventual demise is inevitable.
Yeah.
But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything. You mean?
He is going to be reforged.
Cost is my entire consciousness.
Damn. That's a sacrifice. But a fitting one for a sword. Oh, he's reforging himself.
You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now. But there's still a chance for Ishin art. Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies.
Oh man, we're going to get a new sword.
Ishin lives on, and its finest hour is yet to come. Even if I am not the one to prove its might to the Shogun, as long as it is an Ishin blade, crafted by Kaedehara hands,
Aww, that's beautiful.
it will still fulfill his final wish.
I like that.
Thank you, son of the Kaedehara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong in my mind.
What is it?
Kagotsurube Ishin. This name is now yours to keep.
That's a beautiful sword too.
Rest in peace.
Really. It's Kazuha well too.
So, that's why he said it had to be done in that order.
Yeah.
His consciousness will disappear forever after fulfilling the bladesmith's wish.
It did, yeah.
Kagotsurube Ishin.
Kago.
It was the first time I ever
Tsurube.
heard his name. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions, and thus chose to bury this name deep within his heart.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm ashamed to utter it.
Only in the final moments, before his consciousness faded, was he willing to entrust it to another.
Seems like he really, really wanted to fulfill his maker's wish.
It did.
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward also fueled the stubborn determination that blinded him to the path ahead. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes than see him punished for them.
Yeah, I partially agree. Depending on the kind of mistake, but in this case, I mean, how do you punish a sword anyways? Too dangerous if you ask me. The remnants of defeated gods are nothing to scoff at. True.
I understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality. I've always been captivated by grand aspirations. Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me. Just as the sight of those who fought to repeal the Vision Hunt decree did. Your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires me in the same way.
Aw.
After everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fascinate me a little more than they should.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
Oh, Kazuha.
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will have my assistance whenever you need it.
Thank you, Kazuha. I'll hold you to your word. I'd love it if you would actually truly join me on my journey. But I think you're an upcoming banner, so maybe you will.
Wait, shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kamaji?
Probably should.
Oh, you're right. We need to tell him about the findings of our investigation. And it's also time to give him a response to the offer he made me.
Oh, yeah. I'm guessing you're gonna turn it down. Hey, Kujo. What are you doing out here?
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. Though this was a treacherous investigation indeed, we're most fortunate that no lives were lost.
Very. I mean, I don't know if a sword left lives in its wake on its way here, but at the very least none were lost at its destination.
The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amano miHoYo should conclude soon. I do not believe he will be charged with any crime.
Good, because, well, he was possessed by a cursed blade, so...
Wow, you sure kept your ear to the ground.
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer. Please take a look at this blade.
Yeah.
What's this?
Oh, just a special blade.
Kagotsurube Ishin, a weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaidahara clan. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will continue to study and pass on the secrets of Ishin art.
Oh, yeah. Can't let the Ishin arts die with you.
And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations, learning more about this blade as I go.
True, I mean, you wouldn't be able to, make good use of him here, probably.
I see. I understand.
The Kaidahara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only proper for me to continue on this path.
Yeah.
Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya.
Ooh.
That would not suit me.
No kidding. I mean, hopefully there are no more conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya. I'd like for that ship to have sailed once and for all.
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not our intent.
I am aware, but I still desire to continue walking my own path.
Yeah. You wouldn't be Kaidahara Kazuha otherwise. It's just who you are.
Very well. I can understand. Then let's pretend this offer was never raised. However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the Shogunate's assistance, please do not hesitate to inform me.
Of course.
Great. Thank you for your generosity.
Where will you travel to next, Kazuha?
Oh yeah, you gonna come with us to Sumeru? Obviously you didn't, for the most part, but...
I'll probably take to the seas with Captain Beto again for now.
Granted, the fact that we needed this quest for the next event, or not the next event, the interlude, you probably will stop by in like Port Ormos or something and head into Sumeru.
As for my next destination, let's see where the wind takes me.
He really does embody Animo so well. Here we go.
You must have a whole bunch of questions after our last conversation with Nahida.
Yeah.
Paimon was ready to ask her a million more questions, but didn't want to seem too pushy.
I know, right?
Like, about these Descenders. So,
Yeah.
does that just mean people like you who come traveling to Teyvat from someplace else?
I mean,
And as for your brother... whew, so many questions. Let's go find Nahida and see what else we can find out.
abso-freaking-lutely. But no, as you say it so casually, as if, you know, traveling here to Teyvat from other places. No, say what it is. We are from beyond the stars. I mean, whether it's interdimensional or not, we come from literally other worlds. I'm guessing it's the same for apparently the ruler of this world, the Heavenly Principles. Like, that's insane, but also awesome. Kujo Kamaji, anything more to say?
Mr. Nagato's survival is the one silver lining in this whole catastrophe.
It really is.
We will continue to monitor his condition and hope he recovers soon.
Of course. Do I get that sword, though? I do. Kagotsurube Ishin. Still attack-based. And then... okay. You whip a hewing gale on normal charged or plunging attacks. Dealing AoE damage equal to 180% of attack. And increasing attack by 15% for 8 seconds. That's quite nice. Can be triggered once every 8 seconds, so 100% uptime. Yeah, if you have any sword users who need a lot of attack, perfect blade for it. Not sure if that's really fitting for Kazuha, though.